Hello, Grumble family. My name is Ryn and welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you a very summery build, and this is Beachy Keen Row. And I was inspired to do this build by an Instagram account that I follow, and the Instagram account is called Pretty Little London. And the other day they posted this absolutely adorable picture of a close-up of this row of I guess you could say beach houses, but really, I think that they are beach units, like little teeny, you know what, to be honest, I don't know if you can actually live in them or if they're actually just sort of beach storage, or if you can rent them for the day and use them as a place to, put your things or kind of relax away from everyone else or what. But for instance, even though the site or the Instagram account is called Pretty Little London, the idea that you can think of is like the very colorful little beach units that are in Brighton, and there's a ton of pictures out there with that imagery, and they are just so cute, adorable, little home-looking lots, and I wanted to do a lot inspired by that. I will include a link to the actual image that I was inspired by down below, a link to the Instagram account, and hopefully it will actually link to that photo. If not, it will be obvious which one it is, and I will do my best to make sure that you are steered in the absolute right direction to actually find the correct inspiration photo from Pretty Little London on Instagram. If you don't already, and this is not an ad or anything, I'm not sponsored by them or anything, this is not a plug, I'm not affiliated with them whatsoever, but if you enjoy beautiful architecture and if you really like the English style, then I highly recommend that you go give them a follow. They are a very visually appealing, vibrant account on Instagram, and they're always so positive. So go check them out. I'll leave a link, like I said, and see if you like them. If you do, follow them, because I'm obsessed with what they post. Obviously, I'm doing a build inspired by one of their posts. But anyway, off of that and onto what we're looking at right now. And this is another kind of pastel inspired beachy style here, and I really wanted to play around with this beach theme. I'm not okay. In the past, I was never really a beachy kind of person. I didn't really like going to the beach. I didn't like the sand getting everywhere. I didn't really like, honestly, the pressures of being in a swimsuit. I didn't really like going in the water because I have this irrational fear of what on earth could be lurking in there. And lately, though, after I visited a friend and she and I went to the beach, I realized, you know what? It's really relaxing. And so I'm starting to get into this kind of vibe where I actually like things that are beach related. And this is probably one of my first builds that I've ever done, that really centers around the idea of a little beach town idea. And I really, really, really love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. This moment where we've paused for a flippin' long amount of time. I tried looking for it before I went into editing and I couldn't find it. And of course, I knew I'd find it here. Well, I was having a conversation with my husband. It was a great conversation, and I forgot that I was still recording, and I knew that I forgot that I was still recording, and I knew that I needed to find it in post, but I couldn't. So, hey, forgive me. We'll move on as the video is. But yes, this is my first real beach-themed build, and I really loved it. And being inspired by that photo, it just all kind of came together pretty seamlessly, and I just love it. This is definitely a place that if it existed in real life, I would love to visit. And in order to make this in order to give this a more beach kind of feel, if you will, especially when it comes to crowds, I made this lot a pool lot. As you can see, I left that little hang thing down to make sure that the little hang tab that says lot type, I left that down to make sure that I got everything in that was required of me for this build. And I think I did, which is great. So I wanted to do that because initially I was thinking of having each one of these be their own separate, real mini home, little micro home, but they were so small. And the vibe that I really wanted to go for was, again, a vacation spot where your sim would be and where other sims would be, just randomly and on their own. So I changed it to a pool lot to really reel in the community aspect into the gameplay of this lot. And I'm glad I did. I think having this be a pool lot is perfect. However, if you download this lot, you can certainly change it to a residential, and I think it would be an absolutely adorable place for a sim to live. Now, all that being said, your sim can actually sort of survive on this lot. And I did that on purpose. I was thinking, even if your sim couldn't, even if the lot is a community lot, why not make it where sims could actually survive just being on this lot, The reason I thought about that was because the idea of families always go to the beach together. And what do families really want other than fun in the sun? They want convenience. They want amenities that make being at the beach a lot easier. So on this lot, within each of the little homes, I have this need to want to call them cottages, and I think I'm going to. So in each of these little cottages, as you'll see, there are two of them. The two kind of bookend cottages have the bathrooms. So there are 2 bathrooms on this lot. And then every other cottage is a sleeping room. So there's one large bed, well, not large bed, but one adult bed and then one children's bed, so that if a child needs to nap or if an adult just needs to get out of the sun, they totally can, and they can have a good rest. And then, as you're seeing right now, there are 2 kitchens on this lot too. So, Sims can go in there, cook something, and then they can make something and go enjoy it out on the beach little area that I made, and you'll see that coming up later. Initially, I wanted to kind of make a kitchen / dining area, kind of conjoining 2 of the cottages inside, but they're so tiny inside that I was like, oh my gosh, that's just not going to work. It's going to look way too weird. It's going to get way too congested, and it's just not the feel that I'm going for. I wanted every cottage to be accessible through one door each. So that's what we went with. Each of the rooms also they're identical. So, I just wanted to keep that simple. If this is kind of a pool resorty area, then I wanted to keep that straightforward. The layout of the kitchens and the layout of the bathrooms are identical, but the color schemes are different, just to kind of give it a little bit of character and to spice it up a little with all the colors going on. And again, I also wanted to keep everything very beachy feeling. So there's a sense of this like adorable rusticness that is going on in this build, and just that really, I guess you could say, that older beach home sort of feel. So that's what I went with. That's why inside the walls are this, I think it's called shiplap material. In other words, the planking, the siding that you see in there, it flows from the outside as well. So that's why I made the decisions I made, and you can see all of that coming together. I also added, because I was thinking family oriented here, there are little training potties in each of the bathrooms for little toddlers if they come to visit. Now, the sand and the landscaping, I wanted it to look very natural, but then I realized it just looked really unfinished. So you'll eventually see that I put some kind of decking all the way around the lot just to tie everything in. But I think I just think that was a good decision, because it just looked really silly. Like, it just looked like a pile of sand just plopped in the middle of nowhere in a weird way, and I didn't like it. So I added the little frame around the entire lot, and I think that just just tied everything together. So that worked. And let's see, yeah, here are the kind of dining seating areas. I added some lounges. Now, to make them look like actual lounge chairs, I had to buddy up an ottoman or a bench. I think Sims can still sit on those, so you have to try it out. But if it doesn't work, just easily move that bench out from in front of the chair and your Sims can sit. So here I'm just doing the finishing touches. I wasn't sure. I wanted something to kind of tie in, kind of give a good foundation to the little lounging areas. And so I brought in that, it's a slatted, what's it called? Like a slatted wood rug. I wish it was a floor tile because it's so perfect, but I brought that back from, that's also in front of each of the cottages and whatnot. So, and yeah, and then it was just the finishing touches with some sand texture, which I think just brought everything to life. It actually looks like people live there and have visited there, and I just think it is absolutely perfect. It was just the right finishing touch that this build needed, and it all came together pretty well. So you guys, the pictures are up next, and I will leave you to look at those, and then I will catch you at the end. Enjoy! Alright you guys, that does it for this build. I hope you enjoyed Beachy Keen Row. This build will be available up on the Sims 4 gallery. Just look for me, RynAsInWin. And you guys, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to become a member of the Grumble family today, please subscribe. You guys can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and the Sims 4 gallery, all RynAsInWin. Again, this will be up on the gallery as well. Just search for me, RynAsInWin. And you guys, like I always say, the internet is a very busy place, so I am honored that you chose to spend your time with me here today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.